Sales are booming right now on eBay. We just sold $1,200 worth in less than 14 hours. We're going to show you what's hot and what we sold right now. Hey, it's Don. Today we're going to look at some of the items that we're selling right this minute. In just the last 14 hours alone on eBay, on our main account, we sold almost $1,200. We're going to show you those items here, show you what's still selling for good money right this minute. Now, here's an interesting item that we sold, and this is by Kunio Matsumoto, and this is a Trifari piece. Many people don't realize that you'll run into other markings along with Trifari on the back, and it's Trifari Kunio Matsumoto, and it's a designer from the 50s. I haven't run into this exact style or anything else like that before from any of the Trifari pieces. I have seen Matsumoto pieces before. This one sold for $40 plus shipping. It's been up for a year and 5 months maybe or something like that. So it's a good sale. I have, geez, I couldn't even tell you how much I have into this specific piece. If I'm not mistaken, this came in a big bag lot, which we paid like $25 for, I don't know, 20 or 30 pounds of jewelry. And this was one of the pieces in there. So I don't care if it sits for a while and stuff like this. I got my money's worth out of it and made $30 plus profit for something that's just sitting around. Now, let's look at another item here that many people would have passed on. I got this record here because someone did pass on it. They picked it up. The sleeve here is just a Junko. It doesn't mean much. It's a long, long way to Tipperary. And the performer on it is Stanley Kirby. And it's a well-known performer. The person who was looking at it right in front of me looked at the back, and he flicked it back and forth, looking at the track and how scratched up it was, and left it. So I, got a big bonus on this one here. Now, why is this a big bonus? Because I just sold this one for $141. This is the third copy of this exact disc that we have sold. It's an early one. It's one that most people miss right off the bat. It's an early Columbia, and some of the Columbia ones have a different label than most people are used to. This is the label on it right there. As you can see, it's a good sale without a doubt. Now here's another one we sold, and this one sold for $34.50 plus shipping on both of these. One thing people don't understand on these early 78s is that it's not vinyl. This is made of shellac, which is the same thing you coat furniture with to protect the wood and preserve it. Now, many people, too, assume that this is going to be worth a lot of money because it's a colored vinyl, like a modern-day yellow or red record or something like that. That's not the case. This is a very standard color. Maybe if you're new into 78s, you might think, oh my gosh, I got something really good. But that's honestly not the case with these sorts because they made them by the mass quantities. Some records were only available this way, so it's not really a specialty at all. It's usually a specific label. And I think it was done more so to attract attention to themselves, stand out from the rest of the all black shellac ones versus the round ones. And I think that really has something to do with it. This is a decent record. Let's see, the best side on this one is I'll Make You Answer Yes, and it's by the Casino Dance Orchestra, and it's an early jazz foxtrot. Whenever I see foxtrot, which is on this one too, I automatically assume that it is a jazz record. Again, these sleeves, it's just cheaper to send them in a vintage original, even if it's not technically the right one. 78 sleeves, just blank, brand new ones, are expensive compared to the rest of the sleeves you'll run into. LPs and 45s are dirt cheap. They don't make many of these 78s because there aren't many 78 collectors. So on 78s like this too, one thing you'll have to consider is the 78s themselves will usually take longer to sell than any other record you have unless it's a scarce one. I don't mind waiting to make $141 on this one. Price-wise or take-home price on this one after fees and everything, we're probably going to make about $110 profit on just this disc. This was $1 pickup on this one, so we're going to make around $26 or so after fees, after our expenses for labor and the whole works. So let's look at a few other things here. Here's a few railroad buttons that we just sold. One of them went for $22 and the other one went for $25. If you look up top here, I'll show some images of the listing itself so you can see what they are. But they're early vintage buttons, these two here. So that's about $46. These three here sold to the same person for 75 bucks. Let's see here, this one here, the Michigan sold for 10, and these two together sold for 65 bucks. They're Scottish Army buttons, and it has the thistle, which is what it should have. So that's like $124 or so, and this is a $15 button here. It's just some old coin button, but it has a W. Gill back mark on it, which is the reason that we got that kind of money for it. So it's an excellent sale on that one too. Now let's just show you a few cards, some things that most people don't know too much about. Now these are die cuts. And it's a whole bunch of them. There's 19 in there. That's the number, the auction number, so I can pull it up. It's X260. This sold for, I think, 10 bucks on these. Now, what's good about these is if you can get a whole bunch of them, which we do, we have hundreds and hundreds, probably a couple thousand auction listings worth of these in-house right now. They may take a little while to sell overall, but what you'll have is once a person, buys one lot from me and they like them, they'll always come back. So I sell to the same people over and over again. And many times with these die cuts, Victorian die cuts, they'll buy 4 or 5 lots at the same time to save on shipping as well. Here are some trade cards. These are, Dwight baking soda cards. There's 4 dog cards, sold them for $15, I believe. Here's a couple of clowns that are obviously drunk. This is from an opera. This one sold for $9 and I think 99 cents. Here's a $10 card here. This is advertising Bund and Upmeyer, just some rando company from Milwaukee. It sold fairly well. Very happy with the sale on that one. Here's one someone offered us $15 for. I ended up selling it for 20 bucks on a counter offer. It's an actress, and that's the factor on why this one sold. Stage actress, very famous one back in the day. Here's a cute dog. Now, this one sold because of where it's from. This one I took $20 on. It's Banner Soap, and it's from Canton, Ohio, and that's the biggest factor. Bichel, I guess. Joseph Bichel is the last name. Sounds like a French one. Now, here's a 4-card set of Jumbo the Elephant. Look up Jumbo. It's a very sad story, but anyway. And then Jumbo's Child. This is a 4-card set, but they're in terrible condition, so I took 30 bucks on this one here. I've sold 4 or 5 of these 4-card sets for Clark's O&T spool cotton, which is basically just thread. In better condition, they sell for $65 to $75 for a set. Let's look at a Christmas item here. Now, this is a Santa Claus. We had this up for a whopping, maybe 25 minutes or so. It sold, I believe, for $100. It's nothing fancy. It is from 1879. There's a date on from the person who gave it as a Christmas card. This is an early one. The Santa's pretty unique. It is a very early one, as I said. So some of these can sit forever. We got lucky. I was fine with the $100+ we took out of this one here as well. Let's knock out a postcard before we show you some of the little better things here. Joan Crawford. It's a real one. I've talked about these before. It's a known company, known brand. It's been sent. It sold for 15 bucks. And I purchased this with a whole bunch of stuff. I have nothing into it. The stuff you see here, out of all of these things right here, I probably have $2 or $3 into at best. So everything I'm giving you is almost all profit. Now, the best one from just yesterday is this card here. It's a political card, campaign of some sort, and an advertisement as well. I sold this one for $185. Rich's White House, that's the model, and that's just the name of his store. And he used political aspects on there to kind of highlight the White House aspect of his name. I think it's a really interesting card. I had it up for $275. I went back and forth. The person who bought this one also bought this Rebus card from me. And this card here we sold for $120 to the same person. So this person on his own bought $305 worth of cards. It's another advertising card. Now, a rebus. This is a rebus. It's where pictures make up words. And if you don't know what a rebus is, you will be selling it far too cheap. It usually does not say it's a rebus card, but anything you see like this, or cartoon pictures, images, they'll throw in a letter or two to help you out. But any of these kind of cards, if they're early enough, like this Victorian one here, we can easily get, geez, as you see, 120. But I've sold some of these in the 220 to 250 range, 250 bucks as well. Well, there we have it. Hopefully that gave you some ideas, some thoughts. If you enjoyed this video, please hit that like button down below. You can also hit the bell icon to be notified if I post new content or go live. Subscribe and tell all your friends.
Tootsie Roll, I think I'm in love with you. Whatever it is, I think